Hello guys, welcome to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about why some people actually subconsciously choose an emotionally unavailable partner as a coping mechanism. We're going to talk about why, what to do about this. Watch this. Guys, welcome to my channel. If you're new, please click the little subscribe button and the bell to receive notifications when I release new videos. And if you've been with me for a while, thank you so much and welcome back. Before we begin, I just want to mention, you might have seen my new banner, Inner Work Group Coaching is now open. We are starting in February. It is small groups focusing on relationship dynamics and inner wounds around codependency, love addiction, attachment injury, and narcissistic abuse. As a side note, so if you've had any of these experiences or think that it's something you really want to focus on, you might want to check out Inner Work. It's right there. So let's dive in. Why do I say that choosing an emotionally unavailable partner can be a coping mechanism? This is something people don't really dive too far into, but I do, because you guys know I have these groups that I coach every week. And in one of our groups, I think it was in the truth room, might have been in shadow work, we tend to overlap with certain subjects sometimes, but in one of those groups last week, we were talking about how this one woman said that she's afraid to have boundaries. She's afraid to have boundaries. And I said to myself, wow, that's interesting. Why would we fear having boundaries? We would fear having boundaries because if we have boundaries as children and our parent didn't like it, they would leave us. So if I have my boundaries and I own my boundaries, I might be alone and be left and I won't survive. So in some way, we've had to put part of ourselves in the shadow. And when that happens, part of ourselves is not available to us. So we're emotionally unavailable to ourselves. And when that happens, for whatever reason, we then can only really attract emotionally unavailable partners because that's all that will feel comfortable. Why? Because we have an intimacy issue with ourselves. We're not totally integrated. We have shadow work to do. So if we have that shadow work to do and we're always sort of attracted to those emotionally unavailable people, it's because it's actually keeping us safe from our abandonment wounds, from being abandoned. If they're kind of unavailable, great. I don't have to be totally available. Great. I don't have to worry about total abandonment. My heart's not totally invested. So we have this interesting sort of stay over there kind of thing, 1 foot in, 1 foot out. So our coping mechanism is to choose an emotionally unavailable partner so that we don't have to be fully invested and we don't have to fully worry about abandonment. The other reason is that if they're totally or slightly emotionally unavailable, they won't ever get to fully know our authentic self intimately, because there's an intimacy issue with that if you're not available emotionally. And then we don't have to worry about being proved, unfortunately, right, that there's something wrong or not enough. So if they don't totally know me intimately, then I don't have to worry about my true authentic self being outed just in case it's not good enough. You know what I'm talking about? That layer of self-doubt that totally follows us until we do the gnarly shadow work. And it follows us until we dare to go to those places that we fear aren't enough, to have the courage to speak our truth, tell our truth, live our truth, regardless of others' opinions. So often, I talk about this a lot now, but so often we pray to these false idols, these false gods, right? And what does that mean? We can pray to the God of opinions. We can pray to the God of status. We can pray to the God of money. We can pray to the God of whatever. And when we do that, we're powerless to the truth of who we are, because we've just put our power in a source outside of us again, external, and now we are dependent. So when we have an emotionally unavailable partner, we're not fully dependent because we're kind of unavailable like they are. Now we think we don't like it and we make excuses and we ask for their attention over and over again, but then when we get it, we feel uncomfortable and we do something to push it away. You know what I'm talking about. So if this is one of your coping mechanisms, what I encourage you to look at is the part of you that you're still afraid to integrate, the part of you, your inner child, that you're emotionally separate from. Or sometimes maybe you go into her and out of her, or into him and out of him, but you'll never be consistently, securely attached to this part of you that you keep over here just in case it's not enough, just in case others will prove that it's not enough, just in case somebody doesn't like it or someone will take it away from you again. You'll just keep it over here so it's kind of already taken away from yourself. You know what I'm talking about. A client was telling me today, and I think it was shadow work, she was talking about this scenario with her boyfriend. And I said, no. It's not that you're not sure. It's that you're not sure of you because you don't want it to be taken away from you. You don't want who you are to be taken away from you, so you don't want to totally show him. And she goes, oh my God, that's it, taken away. And it's a theme with a lot of highly sensitive people too, because as we're children and we're not properly mirrored because the world isn't totally emotionally mature, it's emotionally unintelligent, we don't have that emotional mirroring that we really need. So we feel like since other people can't understand our emotions, oftentimes they say there's something wrong with our emotions. So then we sort of distance ourselves from our own true emotions. And when that happens, we become emotionally unavailable as well. But when that happens, we have to understand that we are afraid that that is what's wrong. So if we think that there's something wrong, we will 100% not allow someone to fully see the picture. So think about it. Can I dare to double check that? Can I dare to go in there and just see if, maybe it's not true. Maybe it is safe to be you. Maybe no one can really take you from you. When you feel like you're a child and you're not understood and you're not mirrored, that part of you is taken because it's not mirrored. So if it's not mirrored, it never gets validated. That's why I teach in my courses emotional validation, in my workbook, emotional validation. Why? Because when we can learn to emotionally validate ourselves, guess what? It can't be taken from you because you've already validated it. No one can invalidate something that you're very sure of. They can only invalidate things that you're in doubt about. So think about that. If you have more work to do, maybe check out my workbooks, Spiritual Fitness. It is on Amazon and a bunch of other things. It is down below. It is an easy guide to managing emotion and really looking at how to validate the self and the emotional self. So check those things out. We do not need this coping mechanism of attracting emotionally unavailable partners anymore. And the only reason we are still allowing ourselves to do it is because we're a match to it, because we're not emotionally available to self. So that emotional validation, that inner child work of really checking it out, seeing what's in there, what's really scary. The answer is nothing. What's scary is that for so long we've believed that that is true. So please check out those links I mentioned below. Please share this video with at least one person if you think it could help them. Please make sure to comment if you have something to say. I'd love to hear. And have a great week. I'll see you soon.